Well. We meet again. Boys, it felt like, and we say this a lot, but seriously, it felt like AEW needed a big one tonight. Like it felt like they needed like a show that got the people back in on All Out and got them back hooked and got them fired up. And I haven't looked at the timeline after that match. I'm sure there's some people that weren't keen on it. I'm sure the Oracle of Wrestling had a great time, but my guess is that people are much more excited about All Out right now. I can tell you that I am really fucking excited right now because of one segment. Now, look, the rest of the show is great. We're going to talk about. You guys are going to carry me on that. But there's one segment in the middle that, brothers, it'll live forever. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about Coney. It was incredible. But anyway, expert panel as always. Chris, I know you're a wrestle purist, but you're a grinner first. How are you tonight, pal?
Always, yeah, no, I'm doing great. It was just really good show, like you said. Like it felt like we really needed something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Morale was kind of low, at least for me, I know. So, man, it was a solid show. Just that middle part, I know we'll get to it later, but it was incredible stuff.
Yeah, I genuinely can't. Like, I can't wait to talk about that segment and where it's going because I think there's a lot of takes, and I actually think it may be simpler than people are currently predicting or assuming. I think this may be a more traditional tale than people realize, but nonetheless, Manny, how are you tonight, pal?
I'm doing great. I made this shirt before Dynamite started.
Hmm.
It says "Fed is dead," and as it, I was gonna wear it tomorrow when I was on the flagship, and
Yeah.
it has I did a character shirt of Triple H with it. Then rest in peace Triple H.
Bro, we really almost lost him last year, man. He has like a bad heart and shit. I don't know if you can say that. I don't know if there's a phrase you can say, but respect. My God. It's like doing a show in Monty. That happens to him all the time. It's alarming.
I didn't even know
Um,
I had an alarm on.
yeah, well, it was like, was Dynamite good? That's the alarm. 10 minutes after the show. Tremendous stuff. I don't know how we're going to about this show tonight, guys. If you have questions, put them in the chat, and I'll try to, we'll try to get some as a kind of group here. I want to start with, let's start with what we just closed with, because that was a lock to be another 5-star match for Dave on the Osprey charter. That dude's fucking collecting them at a rate we've never seen before. If you care about that, that's cool. If you don't, but it's still happening. That's 100% going to get another 5-star rating from Dave. I'll be completely real. I paid attention to the last 15 because I was getting ready to do this show before that. But there was some shit in that was like, it actually felt like you were watching a video game. Like the fucking dragon deal where Osprey landed on his feet, and they camera cut like in between him doing it, so he was like matrixed it. It was
Yeah.
There was some shit in that match that was like freakish. Manny, that felt like the kind of thing you would very much enjoy, that main event. Hoopers, right?
It
Hoopers.
was freaking awesome, bro. Like I was shocked that Kenny took that Avalanche German from the double German,
Yeah.
bro. I was fuck, man. Kenny's back and he looked phenomenal. I thought he was wearing the compression shirt to cover up his, like he wasn't in shape. But man, he looked like he was back. He was ready to go.
Yeah, someone said it last week or 2 weeks ago on the show. Like Kenny, in his first match back, he had the shoulder gimmick too, and one of the guys tore it off. Remember, Andrade tore it off, and then this week Osprey tore off the top. And yeah, he actually is in great shape. He looked great tonight. I thought his stuff looked perfect. So we kind of assumed they were working there, but my God, pal, that was quite the performance tonight. Chris, what do you think of the thrilling main event?
No, yeah, it was awesome. I mean, like we could talk about the moves, and I also agree. Like there was a couple things Kenny took in this match where I was like, man, I don't know if he's redoing that. But no, it was awesome, and I think it was Reset said in the Discord. He was like, man, if people will still go on Twitter and say that like the elite can't tell stories, and it was incredible. Like that just immediately proves I'm wrong tonight because there was just so much going on, like the physicality of it and just the athleticism there. But man, there was a story that they were telling. I mean, since the Kenny and Will beef on Twitter for like years.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think, honestly, that criticism's way outdated. And I think, if anything, their stories can be too heavy handed sometimes because they're so keen to tell a specific story, an elaborate story. The idea that they don't tell stories is like, At this point, yeah, you're right. It's way, way outdated. Guys, look, I understand there are many reasons to not fuck with Will Ospreay, but this dude right now is like, he's performing at a special level. Like he's this right now in wrestling. So many guys can do cool shit and can pop a live crowd. So when you see Ospreay get crowds the way he's getting them right now, where he's doing shit that's making them say, "Wow, what is this dude? Where is this dude from?" JR is popping huge. Taz is popping huge. He's on an all-time run. Chris, how familiar are you with Ospreay, and how much have you actually enjoyed seeing him on AEW TV, where he has not missed as of yet?
Right. So I tune into like the big New Japan shows, or like I guess even before the pandemic. But so I was like pretty familiar with him. Obviously, we all see the clips online. But man, like he's continues to impress me more and more every single time when he's in AEW. And he's like he's the guy where I mean, I know, and this isn't that much. I mean, whether you want to judge or whatever, but like this is the type of guy that, like my non-wrestling fan friends will send me clips that they'll see, like, who is this guy? This is insane. And I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get more of that tonight with the, dive to the outside. Like, it was just he keeps impressing, and I'm sure he keeps impressing more and more the people that didn't know at all who he was before he got to AEW. It's just, again, say what you want about him as a person, but that was he continues to impress in the ring.
I think it is relevant what you said. Like, Shoot has said to me that, I don't know if he wants to say it publicly, but someone very close to him, he's become their favorite wrestler. Like, I know for my folks, they fucking love Ospreay, and part of that's because, we're like, he's from near here, but even still, he pops to people that aren't wrestling fans. He's that dynamic. Manny, you had an interesting tweet about, like, he hasn't had that many TV matches, and he's like so at home on their TV. It's almost, bro, I don't know how they're going to like keep him off that show. It feels like he's going to have to stay there for a while.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he is going to stay for a while because at RepPro, he did say he was just going to be US and Japan now. So, hey, man, it's a W for AEW. This is going to be the closest thing they get to, I guess, signing him. Because I don't know if Ospreay is too loyal to New Japan to leave. So, I think this is a W. I mean, man, Ospreay is phenomenal.
Absolutely. Do you guys think good?
Like, I know we say, like, Takeshita really doesn't have a... When I see you bring it up, like, Takeshita doesn't really have a comp. Like, in, like, past... Man, I feel like the same thing with Ospreay, man. Like, Takeshita and Ospreay are just in a different class of them, like, different class altogether.
Yeah, they can the way they move and just, like, their execution of offense is just... It's just different, man. It really is. It's hard to explain without just seeing it. I did want to ask you guys, do you think there's something up with the Don Callis piece of that for Ospreay? Because Don is not going to be with babyface Kenny forever, and Ospreay having Dom to talk for him, I think there may be something up with that. The way they've established that dynamic. Chris, how do you feel about potentially, if Ospreay is a semi-full-time, kind of like he's around a lot, having Callis as his mouthpiece? I think that could be intriguing, person. What do you think?
Yeah, my only reservation there that it's like almost too obvious of a solution on how to book this, right? Because I mean, I feel like the direction they're going is babyface Kenny, right? That's what that's what it seems like. So the very obvious transition to that is like, okay, now Don Callis, aligns with the heels, because like you're right, he's not going to stay with babyface Kenny for too long, because like what's the point of that, right? There's really nothing there to tell, I don't think, at least. So I, think that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, that backstage segment kind of felt like the bat signal in that regard, right, Manny? What do you think, Callis with Ospreay? Shake of the head. What do you reckon?
Lord Gideon Gray.
Have you ever seen him wrestle?
No.
I've seen him a few times. Trust me, he'll give you. He may not be the kind of wrestler you're into, Manny. That'd be my prediction, right?
No,
like the character.
No, but I can actually see it. Yeah, I can actually see just Callis just joining Will Ospreay eventually.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how they use him on TV, because I definitely don't think we're going to go to a point where he's like not on the shows often. I feel like he's going to try and use Ospreay like once a month when he can. Obviously, there'll be certain tours that take Ospreay off the ball. Man, I don't know. I think they were doing Trading Chance tonight, guys. The Elite, that's their fucking promotion, and people were trying for Ospreay. It was, I don't know. It was something. It was very, very striking. The Young Bucks, I'm going to go give a hot take here. I think they might be pretty good. I'm going out on a limb. We've spent so long talking about how good Nick Jackson is that we may have forgotten how good Matt Jackson is, because he had an incredible performance tonight. Manny, as a Young Bucks fan, I know you get frustrated with the law sometimes. Nights like these, great to remind you of what you really love about these dudes?
Yeah, man, they're just besides like all their BTE stuff, man. Once they get in the ring, if there's no one like them, there's probably gonna be like no one ever like them. They're just generational tag team, and I don't think I really think they're just a class of their own. Uh, Nobody has their match catalog they have, and the way that the Bucks were able to switch up with any kind of style is just so insane. They can work a classic Southern tag, they can work a lucha tag, they can work a PWG style match, they can work like one of those North American storytelling matches. They're just chef's kiss. They're awesome.
They did it in their tag title run. They literally did like all of those too, right? Like they did all of those matches. They showed their whole range in that regard. It is very, very special. It's their greatest strength, I think. Chris, was you? I'm sure you wasn't surprised by how good the Young Bucks were tonight, but it must be said, it's nice to get those kind of reminders when you see them in top form, right? They're pretty special.
For sure. And I know like we toss around, or I do at least. I mean, today I said Mox had a generational promo on Twitter, but no, like for real, the Bucks are a generational tag team. I don't even think you can dispute that at this point. And I love, and like what Manny was saying, like I love how people will say, you know, like a Young Bucks style tag match. But what is that? Like their style is everything. They're so dynamic. They can work anything. Like Matt's been selling his back for like 6 years, and every single time I'm like hooked by it. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. They're definitely one of those teams that, like, while I get why they can be great in as personalities, in ring, you know how you said about like people say they don't tell stories. The idea that they're just like spot monkeys is so like that match that I bring it up a lot because it's the best example. The Double or Nothing tag with King and Mox was like a classic, like old school tag for most of it. Like they just got heat on both guys, and they can do that, man. That's easy for them. They have such a degree of range. They're just so fucking good. The Young Bucks are obviously they're one of the best teams ever, genuinely. So that was tremendous. I want to let Duke speak on the main event. I'm sure he'll be here shortly. I will say quickly, do we have any concerns? This is a minor thing. I'll start with you on this, Chris, because I'm intrigued what you guys think, because it did cross my mind. Are we slightly worried that this match on Sunday won't be able to follow like their road to the final? Because I know I'm not saying it will be bad, because it's going to be good, right? But like,
you know, Alex on Twitter.
Alex Reynolds is not, he's not Dragon Lee. You know what I'm saying? Alex Reynolds is not Billy Oz. It's a little bit different. Chris, do you have any concern at all it'll be fine because the Elite know what they're doing?
So I do have concern. I'll tell you how I had the concern. I was halfway through this match, like halfway through it, and I had that thought cross my mind. I was like, I don't know, guys. I was like, I don't know. So immediately when that thought went into my head, I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna think about it yet. Like I'm gonna let this play out here tonight, and then we'll worry about that on Sunday. But I don't know, man. We'll see. It seems to me like my thought is that it's gonna be a lot of, I mean, I don't know if this is like BTE drama is the word or the phrase I'm trying to use here, but it does seem like that obviously, and of course that's what it like. The point is going to be the Hangman arc and the Hangman story there. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see if that can carry it, because I know like at least in ring, I'm not expecting it to be what tonight was, but we'll see if that they could definitely do something interesting there. I have no doubt. So I mean, we'll see. It's going to be different for sure. It's not going to be the in ring level that this was, I don't think. But we'll see if they compensate in other areas.
Yeah, and I think I don't think any of us think the match is going to suck on Sunday, right? Like they're not having bad. They could have a good match with us three. Like it's fine, but it did cross my mind because the Ospreay thing did feel like the final in a lot of ways in terms of how important it was. But Hangman, he'll be super over, of course. I do wish Silver and Reynolds had a little more juice coming into this tournament. They give them a little bit on TV, but you get what you get. Manny, are you concerned at all about your favorite faction, the Dark Order, perhaps failing to live up to the high expectations?
Well, all the people yelling at me on Twitter right now because I said the match is probably not going to be good, and everybody says it doesn't matter. It's not going to be a moves match. It's going to be a story match. You're not watching BTE. You're not doing this. You're not paying attention. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck, bro. I just want to see a good match. I don't need where Hangman's on his knees trying to get to the Dark Order, and then like the Bucks are just taunting him and everything, and then just running in place, and then he gets up and like they super kick him, and powers up, like the power of friendship, like just gets him and he tags Silver and he goes
Damn.
crazy.
You're heated about this, right? Twitter's lit you up today on this, right? You're fucking mad about it.
It's
I'm mad
been 3
about it.
weeks. It's been a 3-week lit up session for me. Man.
Yeah,
All my teams are losing.
I think it will rock. I think the crowd will be with it. Let me quickly say, shout out to Meech, who resubscribed yesterday. I know that Bob can't see these things, so let me do them very quickly. Cody also, thank you for resubscribing, guys. Bobby has not got the Twitch feed rolling, so he can't shout you out when you do that. So I'll try to catch up when I'm around. Yeah, and I don't doubt. I mean, Hangman's going to go off in that match. Absolutely. I'm intrigued. I want Manny's take on this. Chris, I'm going to protect you by leaving you out of it the same way I'm going to leave myself out. Hey, Manny, what do you think? Is Hangman a better wrestler than Will Ospreay?
No.
Dismissive shake of the head.
Hangman can't even lace Ospreay's boots on a good day.
Oh, see, that's why I let you do that. I don't know. I won't go in there, bro. Fuck that. I ain't getting there. I ain't getting in that conversation.
Paywall content.
Let's see what kind of match Ospreay and Adam Cole have. Let's just see.
Oh shit! Listen, man, there's nearly 70 people in here. You've got to watch yourself, right? It's dangerous, very, very dangerous. Look at the chat; it's fired up. Yeah, no, I think Sunday will be really good. The tournament's been really good, man. The tournament's been a hell of a deal. I mean, this style of match could become kind of an organic main event play for them. I think they could regularly main event TVs with trios title matches. Like, honestly, if the Dark Order especially were stronger, this could fucking main event Sunday. But obviously Punk's going to. It's Chicago. But, like, do we think we can get to a point eventually, Chris, where these trios titles are like, they kind of quietly become the next most prestigious belt just because the matches will be so consistently great?
Definitely, and I think that's part of the reason why Tony wanted to wait until Kenny was back for the trios titles, just because, like what you said, the match quality is going to be there, and usually it is for AEW trios matches. But the fact that also, like, presumably, the elite are going to be the first ones to hold the title, that automatically gives it like this prestige.
Mm-hmm.
And also having such great matches in the trios tournament, like we've had, gives it that prestige too to kick it off. So yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be in a position to where it can main event, obviously main event Dynamites, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, 100%. And the crowd, especially the AEW crowd's always hot for those trios matches, like all the time.
I mean, look, a couple of examples here in the chat. Undisputed Era trios with the Elite, and then this one, which is the big one, really, is when you eventually do like Claudio, Bryan, and Moxley versus Kenny and the Young Bucks, which is like as big a match as they can possibly book, honestly. So that's very interesting, Manny. How fired up are you for these trios belts being a part of the product? Like, once we get beyond the tournament, the idea that on any given week you can just throw a trios title match out there and do different combinations, it could be a real strength, I think, for AEW moving forward. What do you think?
I'm thinking they should get rid of those ROH trios belts. Because how
you saying they don't match up? They don't stack up to the left?
No,
is that what you're saying?
I don't think the boys in the Dalton Castle should. I think just leave the trios for AEW, because man, with their division, to the moon, man. It's gonna go high, man. We're gonna see main event Dynamites. I won't be shocked if we see Grand Slam, the Elite versus I forgot what the other team's name again.
Undisputed. The what was they called? Yeah, what was that? What were they called? They had like a name. Remember they trademarked the name? It's like Paragon or some shit.
Well, I think it was Paragon, but like I don't think they ever said it, but it was trademarked.
Did you
the
see
Undisputed Era?
Fish?
They're just gonna wrestle the Undisputed Era.
Did you see Bobby Fish? Bobby Fish tweeted today, my new podcast is out and I'm talking WWE, Triple H, and breaking news.
Wait,
Fucking hell, man. Apparently, yeah. It's wild, man. It's incredible.
Is it the same show where he said he got into a fight with Dax?
I think that was the first episode, yeah. Who do you think won that fight, Manny?
Remember that weird segment that happened with like the Red Dragon came out and they just like bumped FTR? I think that's what started it.
I think that's what he was actually talking about, because what the context was, he was saying, like, if someone called me out in a live promo, I'd just walk out, which is an incredible fault, by the way. I hope someone does that now. And he said, like, I had saying with Dax Harwood, and if you look at what you're just talking about, I think is what he's referencing, because it looked like one of them kind of just pulled the other one's card and was like, come on. And they started like fucking fighting each other. It was wild.
I'm gonna feel bad for Dax, because Bobby Fish has those educated feet. So
Could you imagine?
Dax is gonna go for like a double A takedown, and then Bobby Fish is gonna hit him with that Edwards kick and just KO him like that.
Just keeps him at distance with fucking low kicks. Yeah, it'll be interesting. By the way, you mentioned that the Ring of Honor trios belts. You haven't traded teams again, have you, Manny? You're still Team Ring of Honor, right? Or are you?
Yeah, I am.
You up for now? You seem less confident though. You seem less sure. You still Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, good to know. Aussie Open. We haven't talked about Aussie Open. That feels unfair. They main evented again here on TV and killed it again. I'm very hopeful that the show I'm going to in London is going to be FTR versus Aussie Open, which it will be a hell of a time. Hopefully it's on that night and not the other night. That would be very frustrating. Aussie Open have quietly become kind of one of the world's premier teams. Chris, I don't know how much you've seen of them. What have you thought of them in their AEW performances thus far?
Right. So I kept wanting to like remember their names and I keep forgetting them, but they were pretty impressive tonight. They can bump really well. We saw that tonight, obviously. We've seen that before, but man, like I again don't know their names, but one of them when he had that
Davis is the big
body
one, and
I think
Fletcher
it was-
is the
okay, yeah, I think it was Davis that body slammed both of the Bucks. Like
Mhm.
that was a really cool spot. You know,
Yep.
Fletcher's the other one, right?
Yeah, one with the hair.
Yeah, the hair exactly. Yeah, no, him like the way he takes bumps is like it's just it's cool. Like I don't know, it adds an extra layer of like you really feel into it, into the match. It gives it another really strong layer. So I like them a lot as like a supporting kind of cast to Ospreay in this position. And yeah, who knows? Like 100% wouldn't doubt in the future that they become a big deal.
Speaking of supporting cast, we have our sixth man scorer here off the bench.
Here he is.
Young Dukes, bringing
What's
the
up?
energy, bringing the youth to the program. How are you, pal?
I'm so fucking fired up. I am on unreal high right now from that fucking show.
Yeah, it was pretty good, right? Like we've been talking about the main event because I didn't want to move on until you got here. So what did you?
Does your hat say Warp Tour?
No, it says don't trip. It's a Mac.
Oh, don't trip. I don't know why I said Warp Tour.
What does that mean?
Dukes, what did you think of the main event?
I fell asleep actually during it. Yeah. No. It fucking rocked. The whole Snapdragon sequence with Kenny Ospreay, unreal, and that double suplex off the top, that was a fucking brain buster. That was not a suplex. He landed right on his shoulders. That was insane. I thought I was gonna get pulled over on the way home. I had a cop behind me the whole time. There was a cop behind me the whole time. He followed me down my street. And I pulled in my driveway, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" But I'm
wow.
Yeah.
Are you not famous enough yet from the Grin that you can kind of like
No.
get away with those kind of things?
No. I don't
That's how much he loves his business, man. Just being
For the
home.
love of the game.
I think it takes a couple shows. Oracle told me it takes like 3 shows. So after tomorrow night, Duke should be he should be bulletproof. You know, he should be fine. Because he's happened to Manny. Manny tells me everyone recognizes him. That's crazy. You know.
Yeah. He's gonna pull the.
I
You know
have
who I
my
am.
little section in the Discord.
Yeah, exactly.
The Manny cast. Yeah.
You sure do, brother.
It's there.
We have to share credit with Wrestle Purists on that one, though, right? They've done a little bit. I guess if Monty's in the chat, piece of shit. Yeah, the main event ruled. Anything else in the main event, lads? We have talked. I mean, I don't want to. Duke, she just got here. We've been talking about the whole time. I think we agree it was good, right? Was that our take?
Oh,
Yeah.
everybody watched the Aussie Open match from 2 weeks ago against the Sunshine Machine. Is that what they're called? Is that the team with Micah Oku and?
No, that's Destination Everywhere.
Destination Everywhere. That match was awesome.
Sunshine Machine's another team. No Michael Oku. That would be good too, though. All right, so there you go. Quickly before we move on, Manny, you're famous for your star ratings. You once gave the Ric Flair last match 4 3/4. What did you give? What did you give the main event? Just for people that are at home collecting the stats, you know, what did you give it?
This match didn't have the highs of that one, so I went 5 on it. It was crazy.
All right, well that works. That's fine. All right, I want to get into the fucking, the business. I want to get into the meat of this program. I want to get into the real. Listen, this ain't the time for fun and games, Manny. All right, because some fuck. Listen, I'm all for it. I'm not an old fuck. I'm glad everyone had their fun with the main event. I had fun with it. It was great. 5 stars. We all had a good time. Right, we're all friends here, and I'm happy for everyone to enjoy themselves every Wednesday, Monday, Friday, whatever fucking show days are on now. But in the middle of this show, a professional wrestling program took over because old Pepsi Phil, he was like moping, he was all sad, and the crowd was kind of like losing interest. And I text you, I was like, I don't know if this is working. I was getting really mad at the idea that CM Punk's like promos are bad now. And fucking Ace Steel came out and just like yelling. And he started like hitting him on the chest, and I'm pretty sure he said "fuck." I think he said "fuck," right?
Oh, he did. Yeah.
He said, "Get the fuck back up."
Yeah, and he started whacking him, and then like Punk had this shot where he snapped, grabbed the mic, and like looked down the camera, and it was like the most cinematic, ridiculous, awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. And he began to yell about nearly dying multiple times. He then charged into the crowd. He was screaming about Chicago, which means nothing to me whatsoever, and I was like pumping my fist. This is one of the best segments in the history of AEW Dynamite. CM Punk is back. I don't know why I doubted that he could pull this off in a week. John Moxley. My God. John Moxley. I want to be clear. We will talk about Moxley's promo because Moxley had one of his best promos ever. But man, I thought this needed something. When I read they were going to do a rematch of the pay-per-view, I was worried about it, honestly, because I love Punk stuff usually, and I was like, man, I don't know if they can pull that off. He got beaten 3 minutes. And he pulled it off and then some. I can't wait for this shit now. Incredible promo. Dukes, I'll go to you first because you have just got here. Your immediate reaction to CM Punk's big time in-ring, in-crowd promo in the middle of this show.
I stood up and I did a lap. Like, I'm not even like, that's not even a meta. I literally did a lap around like the living room. It was fucking incredible. Ace Steel came out and my dad said, "Who is this?" Even though he was literally on the television show like 10 minutes before picking up the contract or whatever. He said, "Who is that?" And I was like, "The guy you just saw, who you just asked who that was before." He said the same thing twice. It was incredible.
Did you see Tape Machine's tweet? They should have aired an Ace Steel video package when it came out.
How is he supposed to know?
Like he hits the ring and they just go, "Hold on a second, folks. Ring of Honor." Like, carry on.
Yeah, they just did like Rocky. That's what that was. It was fucking incredible.
Like genuinely, I could age terribly. I don't know, but I don't think there's like some sort of. I don't think they're gonna swerve him here, bro. I think he's fucking Rocky. I think he's Rocky 3, and he's gonna win that belt back in Chicago. And like that's gonna be divisive. It'll pop me. I understand why it won't pop everyone, but I don't know, Chris. What do you think? Are there layers at hand here, or is this a simple story all of a sudden of the hero fighting uphill and getting revenge after such a humiliating defeat? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think there's layers down the line. I think this could play into that. I mean, I know Dukes and I in the Discord are like, "No, he's lying. Don't listen to him."
Oh, yeah.
We're like, "He's lying." But
he didn't say, "Tell me when I'm telling lies." He didn't say that.
Exactly. So you know. But no, yeah. There's as for right now, no, same. Like when he started talking about Chicago, I was like, "Yeah, like that's us." And then I was like, "Wait, no, I'm from Miami." So yeah, that was a big deal. Dukes' dad's reaction was very different than my dad's reaction to the promo.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that. But no, when Ace Steel came out, like my first thought was, wait, the live crowd just thinks that's some dude picking up the papers, right? Like the first time. But then he came out the second time and he starts like grabbing Punk and like, he's dog walking him around the ring. Like
great promo.
It was intense. And yeah, no, he did say fuck. And like in every single version of the promo that I saw on social media, it wasn't bleeped out. So like I guess maybe it went under the radar and they didn't notice, or like they really want to hammer the point home. But it was so intense. It was real. It's like what we said 2 weeks ago, like this is what we love about this, right? Is that it felt like it was like a living thing. Like this is something that we're going to remember for a long time. And yeah, it's definitely, at least for me, like for sure, I'm going to remember that promo as like a Dynamite, great segment. And Moxley's too, like not to discount Moxley's first promo too. That was incredible. Are they going to go 60 minutes on Sunday? Because they kind of hinted at Punk being like this.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. It was very interesting.
I don't know.
Or like 59 minutes, maybe. I don't know, man. But for sure, when we're talking about swerves, I don't think it's going to happen this weekend. I think Punk's going to win it in Chicago.
I do too.
So do I.
Fuck, man. I'm so like, Manny, your grin is. I can't deal with it right now. We have to deal with this as a family afterwards. We need to be professionals. Don't worry, folks. Nothing's up here at Late Night Grin headquarters. It's okay.
I want to say,
yes?
Steelism is a new thing instead of Enochiism. Steelism.
This man, still, he was a real guy once upon a time, you know. Like he popped me.
You know, his promo was so emotional. There's a hole in my wall over there now.
He punched a hole.
Yeah, there's
Shades
a
of
hole in
Bob
my wall.
O'Neill.
Shades of Bobby. It was look, I get why people don't fuck with Punk. I get like, I'm sorry, he makes the show better, man. I'm sorry. I get it. Like, there's so much great wrestling, and I love it. And I know, Manny, you pop huge for the in-ring, and I get it. It pops me too. But when I see this shit, man, that visual of him in the crowd, I felt it, man. I was with it. Manny, what did you think of the promo?
I started crying. There's a hole in my wall, bro. I'm telling you. I was in the...
How do those combine? You started crying and there's a hole in your wall. How much time was in between those? Like, did you punch first and then you cried?
I was just like, fuck, man. When you started running up the crowd, I was like, oh, let's go, bro. Let's go. I wish I had. I'm mad that I didn't buy that because I wanted to buy that CM Punk hockey jersey, thinking that it probably would come in by All Out. Then I realized it was a pre-order, so I didn't buy it. So I wish I had a Chicago flag, and I would just been like that, just flopping in the air, like we're ready to die. Our arteries or something, like whatever he was saying about arteries in the heart or something.
He's gonna pump the blood. He was like, "Oh fuck, man, he's so great."
I loved
Good.
I love when he was going down the ramp and he was just all sad, and then they show in the bottom left, they show the picture of him promoting the jersey, like celebrating. It was just
I wanted the name of the fan that was chanting Colt, and I was like, man, I hope Punk acknowledges who's doing that. And I think he did. I think he called him
names that should fat loser, basically. It was fucking. It was amazing. Yeah,
the crowd started cheering and everything like that.
And he immediately realized it was probably not like the way to go for this promo. I was like, I probably shouldn't have said that. I was like, yeah, probably shouldn't have, Phil, but what are you going to do, you know? Oh, man. I don't know. He's such a... Punk is such a unique character and like figure in wrestling because there are times when he's at his worst and like he's fucking stuff up and like you kind of question like, man, how great is CM Punk? And then he takes him one segment and it's like, oh man, CM Punk's the fucking greatest. He's the top guy in the promotion. Like, he's just very, very special. There's a lot of great wrestling in the show. And by the way, Moxley is special too. You know, if you've heard these shows long enough, you know I've said that a million times. We'll get to his promo. But like, man, that was a big, big segment for Punk tonight. Chat, I'm intrigued. What's your prediction for this Sunday? I know you guys are going to do it on the Grin tomorrow, which at this point, I mean, me being on feels more likely than not. But let's go around the room on this chat. In the meantime, put your prediction for Mox Punk. Put like, you know, is there a turn? Is there so on and so forth? Manny, I'll start with you. Is Punk winning this belt as a babyface? Is Moxley keeping it? Is there a heel turn? What do you think's happening this Sunday night All Out?
I think he still wins by being a heel.
Really?
I think he's gonna hit him with the belt or something, and then just
like desperate man kind of deal.
Yeah.
You could still do it, definitely. Like, you could tell the story of he needed it, you know?
Yeah, it's just going to be like, you know, and it's kind of weird because they've been saying that, like MJF in Long Island, Bret Hart in Canada, CM Punk in Chicago. No matter what he does in Chicago, he's going to be a face. Or, I mean, I don't know. Because it seemed like they were against him because he lost. Yeah. But then towards the end, you know, they were with him again, so.
I think if MJF helped him, Chicago would boo. Because that's like the ultimate. That's like Austin going with McMahon, right? Even then again, Texas basically cheered that. So, yeah, I don't think they're booing Punk. But to your point, they have established this idea that like the Bizarro world thing, they've established that. So you could easily like explain it on the next TV and be fine. Interesting for sure. Dukes, where you going on this one? Babyface win for Punk? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think he's winning clean. I think he turns in New York.
Okay, we'll get into that. We'll circle back. But there's a big. Honestly, there's a great big Samoan elephant in the room for that one. We've got to talk about it. Chris, Manny's shaking. When Manny shakes his head, it really worries me because he knows more than us. He knows what's going on. So when he does this, it scares me, Manny. You know, I don't know what you're saying.
I just want Samoa Joe in the ladder match. I want to see him do a leg drop off a ladder into another ladder on somebody.
Okay, well, steady on. We'll get back to that. Chris, who have you got in the main event on Sunday night?
So I'm leaning towards Punk clean just because, like, traditionally, I guess that seems like how you would do it if you know that they're going to cheer for him. But I guess, like you said, they have established that bizarre world to the extent where like Chicago, I don't know if this is the right way to phrase it, but like Chicago kind of feels like its own character in the show,
Yeah.
to where like it's well established that they're going to cheer for him no matter what. So I definitely do think that that's something you could do where he cheats, but like everyone, I guess you hope the viewers know that, yeah, they're cheering because it's Chicago and they're going to cheer for him no matter what. So yeah, I definitely think you can still do that, but I think I'm leaning towards that he's going to win it clean.
It does feel like, to me anyway, and this is just my opinion, but I do, and listen, folks, we all lose our way sometimes. You know, it's part of the game. I do feel some people have got so deep into the idea that the scoops are works that they've like warped the story in their mind. Like I saw some people being like, "Why would we cheer CM Punk?" And it's like, because he's a babyface, man. Like he's not done anything like evil on the show, unless I'm missing something. The worst thing he did was he was a dick about the guys a couple weeks ago, but Moxley was a dick about Punk tonight. They don't like each other. You know, like it's that. To me, it's that simple. I don't know. Am I missing something on that front, Dukes? What do you think?
I don't know.
Go,
No,
Manny. Manny's fired. Hang on, Dukes. He's
No,
got
I was
scoops.
just
We'll
gonna
get back
say,
to this.
I was about to say, like, hey man, with Punk, that's just a story of Punk walking up to Hangman saying, "I'm not gonna job to you, brother." That's awesome. I don't know what to tell you. Like, imagine like,
But like this is the thing. That pops you and I. But it feels like some people are taking that as like a heel turn, and that's not on the show. You know, that's Sean's reporting, and Sean. That means it's probably real reporting. It isn't them working them or doing anything. It's weird. I don't know. Dukes, carry on. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. He's a babyface on TV, and those people that are at the shows care about what's on TV.
You think? Was you surprised when they didn't pop when Max said another fucking team meeting or whatever he said last week, and no
Yeah.
one reacted at all?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually think the story is a lot simpler than people kind of are pretending. Now, I want to talk about this Arthur Ashe business because we have, after all out, there's 3 TVs. That's the third one, right? Arthur Ashe is the third
Yeah.
one. So if you look at it realistically, the casino ladder match, it's like, how do you do this? Because if that's not the Arthur Ashe match, you have to like fit in those 2 weeks. And then what is the Arthur Ashe match? I'm not doing a bit. I genuinely think it's Joe. Because if you look at who's in the ladder match, you could do Claudio, and it's like, I don't think they're going to do Ring of Honor champ versus AEW champ, man. I just don't. Now, I know that sounds silly because Joe's the TV champ. They proved with the Owen they don't give a fuck about the TV title. Who cares, right? They haven't even got TV. So I think they're going to do Joe and Punk at Arthur Ashe. What do you guys think? Like, Chris, I'll go to you first on this. What do you think this looks like? Is the casino ladder match winner going to work the Arthur Ashe title match? Is there going to be another guy that slots in? How are we going to kind of space this out right now? Because it's very interesting.
So to me, it does feel like that's going to be the main event of Arthur Ashe is going to be the Joker versus Punk.
Yeah.
Because when I saw the lineup, I was like, okay. At first, I saw Claudio, and I thought, okay, but then same thing. Like, I don't think they're going to do ROH champ versus AEW champ. So yeah, I mean, at All Out last year was Ruby was the Joker, and she had her match at Arthur Ashe, right? That's how that went. Yeah, so I think they'll do a really similar thing this time, but with the men's title. Man, I don't know who it's gonna be. I could see Joe, and I think that's such a money match. Like if with the build and the story they could tell, I just hope that they can do it in the time that they have, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's really interesting because like I'm always hesitant on this because obviously it's like a running bit that I book Smojo at every angle. But like genuine, if you look at like the lay of the land, it's kind of like my pick was always Danielson Punk, right? You guys have heard me say this a million times, but it feels like Danielson's kind of going to be catered for doing his thing with the, all this other stuff that's going on with Garcia and such. I think it's Joe. Manny, where do you stand on this? Like, where are we going for Arthur Ashe? Is the casino ladder match winner going to face Punk or Moxley? Are we going to do something different? What do you think's happening at Arthur Ashe?
the champ is here. The champ is here.
Oh my god! You don't know how funny that sounded, bro.
I tried to do like my most high pitched voice I could.
I could tell, brother. I could tell. Holy shit. That was incredible. Agreed. Good call. Good answer. Dukes, what do you think? You're going to the Arthur Ashe gimmick, right? What do you reckon? Where we headed here?
My pick was Punk and Danielson too before, but I think it'll be Joe. And now I'm gonna have to watch the other matches because I've never seen them.
Oh, so that's a nice 3-hour session for you to sit down and do at some point. they're great. They're very good. They are long, so popcorn and such. But it'll be a good. This is the thing. They've got to upload those fucking matches, right? If they do that match at After Ash, there's no excuse. You have the tape library. Throw those matches on the YouTube gimmick. You got to do it, man. Just get some. Get some use out of this tape library before we sell it. It's fucking sitting there doing nothing. Anyway, it will be interesting. Joe in a ladder match sounds like an incredible piece of performance art. So, by the way, folks, when Manny disappears, he's collecting scoops and messaging us that he can't tell us them yet. So it's very alarming for us. We're trying to be pros here. Very dynamic.
My dog is doing something crazy outside.
Kayfabe, Manny. Come on.
Oh yeah,
he's getting scoops.
Go get some scoops.
Yeah, get some scoops. He walks out the window and listens in. What's the deal? And look, there's a lot of good matches in the ladder match for Punk. All I'm saying is, if it's for Arthur Ashe, I don't see one other than Claudio, and I don't think they're going to do that match. Right? I could be completely wrong. It'll be interesting. We talked about Brian briefly. What's up with this Garcia business, Chris? What are we getting on Sunday? Is Garcia going to turn back to Jericho? Is he going to fully turn to the Combat Club? Next week's match seems like kind of a clue, right? He's at home, wrestling with the pure belt. I don't know, man. Where do you think we're going with Garcia and that whole deal?
So today, right, on Busted Open, Tony said that he wants to listen to the crowd and listen to the audience. I think it's a mistake not to turn him.
Yeah.
It does. It feels like that's what you do, right? So, and like the way I look at it is you have to weigh, the pros and cons here of like, now if he ends up turning on Brian, what's the reaction? And I think him as a babyface is just way more. It gives you much more to work with. I feel like from a story perspective, with like, I forget who was it that said it today, but that like all the BCC guys are gonna have their sons, kind of like Mox has Shooter, and then like Claudio has Yuta and Garcia and Brian. Like that just feels like there's so much you could do with Brian and Garcia, and telling that story of like the mentor, like his hero, and eventually you can run that back of like Garcia turning on him down the line. But I think right now the move is next week it's his hometown, right?
Yes.
Yeah, next week do that 100. Like just do it, because the crowd, like the reactions to Garcia, you're a wrestler chants, like that, it feels like that's naturally what you do here.
I agree with you that going just back to Jericho isn't the way, because also the natural match out of that is he wrestles Danielson again. And it's like you just did the trilogy. Like I actually think, I'll be in the chat have said this, I'm really into him kind of just going his own way. Like you do like the double swerve gimmick where like he turns on one of them and you assume he's joining the Combat Club and he kicks Danielson in the dick too. And he's like, he's Red Death, Daniel Garcia. He doesn't give a fuck about any of these dudes. He's on his own. That intrigues me. I definitely don't want to see him just turn back, and be a sports entertainer again. Manny, what do you think? Where are we going with Garcia here? If you know, then feel free to say no comment.
No, I was gonna say a bit, but then I forgot his tag team partner's name on the Indies.
Kevin Blackwood, right?
Yes, he was gonna turn on him, and then the aesthetic crippler Kevin, whatever. I forgot his name again, but
wow, you went out your way to bring up a guy and forgot his name twice, bro. No one even asked. What was the point?
No, I was gonna say that he was just gonna make another team with with his friend, and then they were just gonna be like to get together on the TV show.
Good job. Great answer. Great answer there from our resident.
My mind just went blank. No, actually, I still.
Dude, he's bench Jim Ross commentary. That's amazing. So to answer this, they need heels, and he could be their fourth top heel if they did it right. There's no heels right now, So that's what my picture. Now again, heel, he would be kind of like a slight tweener. You could cheer him, but he would mostly wrestle baby faces because, again, we have so many baby faces right now. It's hard.
But
Dukes, yes.
But I actually do like the idea of each BCC member having their own young boy underneath them. So I think that's pretty cool. If they do go that way.
I agree. Dukes, what do you think of where do you think they should go with Garcia?
I think they should. have him be on his own. But if he does join the BCC, I could see way down the line Bryan and Garcia turning on the rest of the group. Like Danielson takes him with him.
Yeah. I'm intrigued by that. Like the idea of Danielson eventually being like, actually, this is not all I had in mind. Like John Moxley turned it into this sort of like, this sort of his own thing. He's taken over the group or whatever. Like it'd be interesting. The Blackpool Combat Club is probably the coolest thing in the whole promotion, but I think it's objectively like one of the hardest things to book because it's like if they're together a lot, you can't have people go 50-50 and they would just beat up everyone. Like look at that lineup, dude. It's killer. I mean, you were even one tonight, and you is like the guy that you would beat in that group. The other three guys are like three of the best wrestlers of the last 20 years. So it's very hard. I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, Dukes, and eventually they kind of do some infighting there to just mix it up. Because as Brian says, they're aware of that problem. They've never been on TV. Like they're aware you can't just have three of your top guys together as baby faces and be like, well, good luck to 2.0 or whoever the fuck's going to fight them, right? It's very difficult. It's very challenging. But this is the thing. It's true. I don't think Punk's turning, but they do need heels. So I don't know what the answer is, really. I don't think turning Moxley is the answer. Speaking of such, let's talk about Moxley. Because the second promo, it was more about doing it rather than what he said. It was like the idea of having connective tissue, which is something that I've been requesting them do for fucking ages, and they need to do it more. The first promo was one of the best Moxley promos ever. It was so like, it felt like a prize fighter at the post-fight press conference, It was like he was basically saying, you can think what you want, but I kick the shit out of your guy. Like, it is what it is. Live with it. Dukes, what do you think of Mox opening promo? And then beyond that, what do you think of promos opening the show in general? Last 2 weeks they've done it. Where do you stand on that? But firstly, what do you think of Mox's promo specifically?
I thought it was good just to start. I was like, oh, it's Mox opening the show. It's going to be good. And then it just kept going and going. And he was like, I'm the fire-breathing, blood-spitting. And I stood up. I was like, oh, my God. This is my favorite wrestler.
Yeah. He's pretty good, I think,
I think so. And promos opening the show are good if it's a good person that can come.
So your take is like case by case, right? Like if John Moxley's cutting it, awesome. If someone else is cutting it, not so awesome. I get you. That makes sense.
Like I like Manny, the one after Hangman won the title when it was him and Bryan opened the show. That one was good. That was the first time they had done it in a long time. Yeah,
I think that's a good call. Manny, where do you stand on promos opening the TV show? It feels like something that would make you mad.
It does, but John Moxley rules. So he gets a pass from me all the time, especially when he's like walking around awkwardly and just like talking, and he just like so awesome. And like the way he just got the crowd behind him.
Bro, that fucking rules. When he's walking around awkwardly and talking, he looks so awesome. Living the dream.
Yeah, because if you compare it to Morrissey earlier, he looked weird.
Yeah.
So it's just like, man, nobody does it better than Mox.
That was the funniest thing. We need to get to that. But yeah, Moxley, he's one of the best promos in wrestling. He's great. Like, Manny, you popped us. Good.
Like, did you see this in the second interview, like the second promo? He finished, and then the music started playing, and then it looked like he wanted to continue again. And he just like looked around and just like awkwardly just got out of the ring.
I think he knew that second promo, like he hadn't like followed Punk, so like he wanted to keep adding to it. Like you could see he was figuring it because you can't just like when you've already thrown your best punches. The idea of walking back out there is hard, right? I think it was worth doing for the sake of selling the match, but it was difficult. Manny, you popped Shoot and I a couple weeks ago. There was a Jungle Boy. You know when they announced like Jungle Boy speaks, and it was like he just did this like shitty promo about his t-shirt, and like when he came out, Manny tweeted, "Oh, what the fuck? Why is Jungle Boy?" Cut this shit or something like that. We was popping huge. It's tremendous. Chris, what do you think of the opening John Moxley promo?
Yeah, so I think like you can't go wrong having Wild Thing open up a show and then having the crowd go crazy like that. Like, again, case by case basis. Usually I'm like very whatever about a promo opening the show, but if it's a guy like Mox, like he's gonna knock it out of the park. That was awesome, right? Like that was so good. And just like part of what I loved about AEW and still do now, but it kind of wavered a little bit, was the fact that like anything can happen on the show. And that really, they really hit that home with the Moxley just coming out for the third promo between the two, and then coming back out, and it just being like, okay, this is gonna be, we're in for something here. That I just love that on the show. I love that, you get that feeling of anything can happen. So that was great. He's just so good, man. He's so good at just selling a fight. Them two are incredible.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. Like, I think one of their biggest flaws as a TV show in recent years has been like not following up on stuff, like doing something and then being like, we'll get to that next week because we have to get everyone else on. In this case, you actually had like a through line, like there was connective tissue, there was an idea throughout the show.
Right. And like why wouldn't Mox come back out and answer back? Like that's his personality. He would want to have the last word when Punk, unexpectedly is the one that's going to sign the open challenge. Yeah, why wouldn't he just storm out? That's who he is.
Their biggest challenge is maintaining the variety show element and having like a wrestling buffet they always talk about, but you don't want it to feel like every segment is disconnected from the other. It should feel like a cohesive world, even if guys are wrestling differently and different ideas and different things. It should feel connected. And I think when you get things like that, it allows it to feel that way. Like the one a couple weeks ago, Moxley came out and wiped out Tony Nese. He's like, that's what John Moxley, the wrestling character, do. He wouldn't just go home for the night and be like, well, I'll see him next week. Like, fuck that. He's going to fight him. So that's something for them to kind of, I think, double down on. A couple other things on that note. We got a JR sit down tonight, which popped all of us because that's something that has been said on every episode of the Late Night Grin, I think, statistically speaking. We also got more under the radar. We got the shot of the announcers with their back to the ring. Did you guys pop for that? It's back, bro.
Well, did you know that Tony Khan listens to the fans, and he listens to everybody's complaints?
Wait, a lot of people complained.
Someone tweeted it on Twitter.
Yeah, someone tweeted it.
And maybe because he's heard all the complaints, like why doesn't JR do sit downs anymore? Maybe watch the Late Night Grin, and there you go. And he chose Jungle Boy to do it. So, or Jack Perry.
Win some, you lose some, Manny. It's just baby steps.
He was fine in that.
He's fine. He's just. Bad. I actually really like Jungle Boy, but he is an example of one of those guys who like the more people they add to the roster, you kind of go, oh fuck. Like I don't know if Jack's road to the gold is quite as quick as it was before. Unfortunately, I like the guy a lot. It's just difficult. Speaking of signings, all-time funny moment on TV tonight. The Wingmen, they came back from a break. JD Drake is back in the fucking Wingmen for some reason. He left the Wingmen.
No, it's actually the Workhorsemen are in the Wingmen. It's just Anthony Henry is just never there.
Oh no,
that's actually worse.
Don't say that.
That's so much worse.
So it was a funny deal. They had like the signs or whatever the fuck, and I was like, oh man, guess who I thought was going to come out and beat them up?
I thought it'd be Ward though.
It was Lance Archer.
Who do you think I expected?
Samoa Joe.
I was sitting there like, my genuine reaction was, oh my god, they're going to do Samoa Joe and JD Drake on 0 Hour. Then instead, they started playing this like weird music, like the music we have when we start these streams. And I was like, who is this? And like the crowd was kind of reacting, so I was like, maybe I'm just forgetting this theme. And brother, when I saw that name, I fucking like. It popped me because the thing is, people can dunk on what Sean tweeted tonight, but we're actually at a point in this world where there was like a bidding war for W. Morrissey. Like, that's a real thing that happened. Both companies wanted him. If you're a wrestling free agent, like just don't stay out of jail, like just straight and narrow. You're gonna get signed, brother. Everyone's gonna get signed. It's fucking crazy, dude. Have you seen it out there? They're gonna bring back the fucking Fiend on Sunday. Braun Strowman's going back. Everyone's getting signed. I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible.
No, never mind. I won't say that.
Yeah. Okay, save that for after. The other thing that you got to tell us. So one of you guys remind me that was a thing that Manny almost said on the show.
It was a dark joke, but never mind.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah, the arrest line, I didn't think through. Good call. Chris, your reaction to the big dub. Morrissey coming into All Elite Wrestling.
So I saw the same thing you did, where like I looked to the crowd because they hadn't shown the screen yet, like they hadn't shown the stage yet. I looked at the crowd and you see like 1 in every 5 people is reacting, but they're all looking at the screen. And just 1 in every 5 is like kind of pumping their fist a little bit, like excited. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be somebody. Like it's not anything huge, but it's somebody. And then so he comes out, and I don't know, I don't hate it. Like I like the pairing with Stoke because it seems harmless and. The guy's huge, and you put him with Stoke. Next to Stoke, he looks like 9 feet tall. right? Like, I don't think this hurts at all. And I think, from what people have been saying about him, it seems like he's really turned everything around.
Yes.
And that's like a success story that you really like to hear, right? So, yeah, I wish him the best. I hope it works out. The Stoke thing, like, I don't know what it looks like 100% yet. And we'll see how they, book it down the line. But I'm really, like, I don't know. I was optimistic about this.
I actually agree with you. Like, I think it's very funny that both companies wanted him like desperately because it just shows you how much things changed. But like, it's good for him. And I will say, as someone that reviewed a lot of those pay-per-views, he had a good run in Impact, and like, he proved his worth and he got a gig. So you can't argue with it in that way. It's just, I will say this. I'll go on a limb with this. As happy as I am for the guy himself, and I agree with you, it'll be a fine thing. If this is what Tony was tweeting about when he tweeted that gif about finally the luck, I would like someone to go and arrest him immediately. Now, I don't want it.
Right.
If this was the triumph, then I can't. I'm assuming that's Brock Lesnar on Sunday. We'll talk about them anyway. Duke, she fired up for the big dub.
Very much so. I was in hysterics. It was like one of the funniest moments of the show easily. My dad goes, "Do we know him?" And I'm like, "I do." I go, "I do." You don't.
Do we know him?
Yeah.
That fucking rules. Okay, fair. Manny, he doesn't strike me, the W. Morrissey, as the kind of wrestler you'd be, really into. Am I wrong?
Well, after that one match he had with Wardlow, man, I was like pumping my fists, like, oh man, maybe Big Man is the job, like they were just throwing lariats, like just throwing punches at each other and everything. I said, oh boy, man, I hope we brought him back. And I think a couple of weeks ago I said that I think he's coming in as Christian's heavy.
Yeah.
But then I was a couple weeks off, and he's Stokely's heavy. So
Close.
I was close.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Like, booking him's gonna be really hard, but
I also thought Stokely grabbing Tony Schiavone with the freshly cut mullet, just like streaming at him. That was good. Awesome.
Yeah. That got over live too. The crowd really reacted to that perfectly with a big Tony chance. That was good shit, man. That was definitely good. I want to talk about this next. I thought the women's tag was fucking killer, honestly. Britt is, I think, doing performance art and has seen like a window to be like incredibly graceful, gracious top gal, and is going to like put people over and really work hard, which pops me because I think that's both like what she should do, but also it feels like she's popping herself a little bit by doing that now while all the conversations happen elsewhere. But she is genuinely good in these tags. She has been for a while. We've talked about this is like the best thing the division produces regularly. When they do one of these tags, like these all-star tags, they're the best matches on the TV show. Also, I'm going to say it, and Manny, I know it gets very heated on Twitter, but bro, you got to say it helps in this time in the show, man. If this was in that hour 30, it's like it follows Punk's promo. I haven't got the energy, man. I can't lock in on what JR's saying about Sheeta and making me really embarrassed. I can't do that if it's later in the show. For the first hour, I'm fresh. I hear and see it all, unfortunately. So the match was tremendous. Manny, I will reluctantly start with you. Please tell me you like this match.
I like the last couple minutes of the match.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in my room. I was getting my laundry.
Oh well. This can be very interesting each week. The kind of Manny's excuses for why he misses the bulk of it. Now the finishing stretch was really good though. You agree on that, right? There you go.
Yeah, I kept refreshing after like the match was over. Like Britt's tweet. Like I wonder what she was gonna tweet because obviously I thought it was like a little shot at our friend Rosa. So just. I couldn't say
friend. Oh, friend. It's serious. Like,
I've been on a witch hunt. Just
to be clear, I'm not doing a bit when I said the finishing stretch fucking real. I thought the match was really good, genuinely, and I love the finish because it was clearly the right finish. Yeah.
I actually saw Hayter. Like I thought Hayter got knocked out for a bit with that. Yeah. I never seen anybody take a Hurricane Rana as a DDT before.
It was very. It was Lexi All Caps-esque in many ways, when she spiked herself the other night on the flagship. It was like that.
She did that roll. And
when you left, you retweeted that, and we were popping huge because I'd seen it already, but the guys only saw it when you retweeted it. It's fucking amazing,
bro. I never seen anybody do that before. I was like, how did that even happen?
So just impressively bored about wrestling, amazing stuff. Dukes, what do you think of the tag match here?
It ruled. I really like Sheeta winning. That probably means she's not winning on Sunday though.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite spot of it was when Tony just jumped in the ring and did the Sweet Cheeks music, and then she like dove out the ring and did a DDT. It fucking ruled.
That was cool. Very cool.
Well,
The
Dukes,
transition was smooth.
Sheeta won on Elevation and she won on Dynamite, man. She can't win, 3 more times, in 1 week. You got to spread the love.
Fair.
You're trying to build a division.
Tremendous. Chris, what did you think of this? What did you think of this tag match?
So, I think I said it like 2 weeks ago too. Like I've been a lot higher on the women's division matches. I think, that's not a knock on them, but like it's kind of a knock on them a little bit. But it was like I really enjoyed it. Sheeta's incredible, man. And yeah, Britt taking the pin was like interesting because I was waiting for there to be something afterwards. Like she's not just gonna, right? Like this isn't gonna happen. And then man, like it was cool. Like just seeing her facial reaction after losing, it was interesting. Yeah, I don't think Sheeta's winning. I think that's like a safe, bet that I'll be willing to make now, especially. But yeah, it was really good. Sheeta hits so hard. I just love her in ring, and yeah, there's just the improvements have been really like I guess we'll wait to see where it leads, but they've all really improved a lot, and I definitely agree this time slot's the way to go.
Who we got on Sunday, guys? Again, I know we're going to do it on the Grin tomorrow, but just gut feeling. I agree with you, Chris. I think Sheeta's, unfortunately, tonight kind of takes her out of the equation. I don't think she was really in it anyway as a winner, unfortunately. I think Tony Storm's winning this belt. Dukes, what do you reckon?
Tony.
Yeah. Manny, what do you got? Who you got on for Sunday?
I need to sleep on it.
You do? All right. Can you, when you wake up, can you tweet immediately your pick, please, so we can...
I will.
Yeah, there you go. Chris, who you got?
Yeah, Tony.
Set an alarm. Yeah, I think Tony kind of has to win, to be honest with you, after she was set to win it anyway. It feels like we kind of mean to just, it's not her fault shit's changed, right? How the reign will be interesting. They've obviously got to get to this Jamie and Britt business that in January felt like it was going to happen in a week, and now it's kind of, there's not really any tension between them. It's really interesting to see how they've done that. Interesting is the polite word for
it.
But
I think they should stay in a tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, Britt's a great tag team wrestler.
She is, but like the other part of the equation, like I want Jamie to be like the top star in the division. I want us to move forward that way. I get you though.
You just switch the roles, Britt's now
I think, I genuinely don't. Like, I kind of think the Jamie Blackpool Combat Club thing, I think actually rules. Like, she's that vicious. I think they can do it. Like, because look, I'm not trying to be, but some people get suggested for those groups, and it's like, well, not necessarily.
Yeah, Layla Hirsch and Team Taz.
Well, firstly, don't take shots at me on the air. That's unnecessary. It was a different time. Layla Hirsch is very short, so I thought it would be a good listen. It's hard filling content, man. It's difficult. You throw stuff out there sometimes,
And now Team Taz is dead, so it's just like
It is, yeah. It's gone. What else is on tonight's show, boys? Anything else we've not talked about? The 4-way, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Roosh, future AEW World Champ.
Paid per appearance world champ is crazy.
Manny knows that the worst thing they could do for Roosh is give him the world title, and he still says it just because it's the right. That match was fun, though. Manny, that struck me as your kind of business right there.
Yeah, man, Roosh was freaking awesome, giving headbutts to everybody that was flying around, doing topes, just beating everybody up, and then everybody was just like booing him, and he was just doing his like pose and stuff, just awesome.
Are all 4 of those guys like certified hoopers, or would you say just a few of them? Give me your, because I see Manny as like he's like the expert on this front, or he's our representative of that. Rank me those guys in terms of like level of hooper in that match. Go ahead, Manny.
Roosh is number 1. He's playing like I was about to say like Kevin Martin or something, but that was bad. That's like a bad.
That's an insane.
No. Roosh is playing. Roosh is like Zach Levine right now. Just like crazy.
That is a sentence that has never been spoken before and will never be spoken again.
Oh, Roosh's theme. That's why he's number 1 too. It just goes Roosh. Fucking incredible.
It sounds like a car, like vroom vroom, just like that.
All right, tremendous. Who's second, Manny?
Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything for Ray Phoenix.
He's a fucking scorer, right? That dude, he goes out and he'll give you a bucket.
Steph Curry.
He's Lou Will.
This
Oh,
chill
yeah,
on Steph Curry. This guy more in Deuce direction here, right, pal? Just take it easy. I get
Oh,
you.
no,
Okay.
no. He's the reigning sixth man of the year, Jordan Clarkson. There you go.
All right, yeah.
Come on.
Okay, so then is Utah or Dante?
Yuta.
Yeah.
Yuta.
I don't know if you've got Dante as a hooper, brother. I don't know if you've got him there.
Dante, he's like he's someone you send to D League and you bring him back up after a while and you're like, oh shoot, man, he's good, because everybody forgets like he's good, and then when people start catching up, you send him back down, and that's how you keep Dante in the rotation.
Yeah, that was fucking good, wasn't it? Wow, how about that? That should be a segment around here. We need to have like the Hooper of the Week. Oh, we could do something with the Hooper of the Week. We do like the Jericho
There's something
graphic.
Yeah.
Something there.
We can
We do our starting lineup of the week.
Yeah.
Put on a
that-
t-shirt.
Oh, there you go. Yuta is Chris Paul. He never wins the big one.
That's crazy.
No, that's
That's crazy.
you can't compare a 4-year-old Willie Hughes to Chris fucking Paul.
Nah,
That's
we
like-
know.
It's like Eddie Kingston.
I was about to say, King is
Yeah,
Chris
Eddie
Paul.
is Chris Paul.
Shoot texted me something last night. I popped me so much. We know they announced the Ishii match. Shoot texted me, if Eddie doesn't win this one, I'm giving up. And I was like, what do you mean? You gonna stop watching? He was like, no, I'm just gonna give up on Eddie Kingston. I'm just gonna go full kayfabe and be like, oh, he's just a loser, man. It's not worth it's not worth worrying about.
I started laughing when I saw Pac and Kip get a moving graphic, and like all the bigger matches didn't get one. I was just like, man, why is Kip dressed like a mid-2000s emo kid, just have a moving graphic, and like all these other wrestlers don't have one.
I can't do the Kip thing, bro. I can't do it.
It's so funny. No,
Everybody was hoping for Ospreay, and then we got the second best Brit in AEW, Kip.
All right, now wait a minute. I'm on the Kip train, but you just disrespected Pac and Jamie Hayter and William
Kip's
Regal.
not on the list, dude. He's not one of the best Brits in the promotion. However many there are, he's just not on the list. He's missed out.
It's just Pac and Kip as the men's side.
Well, no, William Regal was lead announcer.
I feel like you gotta just say Kip's American now. Like we kind of claimed him. The Brits all hate him for whatever reason. Like
When
he's just
did we
ours
claim
now.
him?
I claim him. He's ours. He's American.
Penelope,
man.
brother. Listen, I know Reese was in the chat, and I don't want to be spiteful.
He is.
I like everyone to enjoy themselves in this game. But when he started kind of promo, my head began to shake violently. And he was talking about like this change, and he had the box. He had a box in his hands. Like, just get rid of the box now, dude. You've left the box. Don't go back to the box.
It seems he like dyed his beard too,
Yes.
really weirdly.
It can't be done. Listen, there's a lot of bits I can go with. I don't know if I can do this one, boys. I don't know. But...
Speaking of a promo, we forgot Miro.
Miro, yeah.
How does everybody
Sting!
keep finding his room?
Fucking awesome.
Bro,
Yeah.
Sting's delivery was fucking insane on that. Why did he say it like
Jeff
that?
Hardy.
And I was just like, bro, everybody's all being dark and green.
No, the showtime was funny, but when he said like we're friends,
Yeah, it was like Joker. It was Joker Sting delivery. I was so caught off guard. It was.
Well, of course, Miro and Sting are gonna be friends.
yeah,
They're super religious.
Sting's never been stabbed in the back before.
Yeah, that was a good shoot. Had a good tweet.
That was so
about
good.
that.
Does anybody know who his Miro's friend was that he sent to God? I don't know who he was talking about.
I don't know. No clue. No idea.
He said he shook his hands 3 times and sent him to hell. Oh yeah, Andrade.
Oh, we missed that.
That was
Dude,
incredible.
man.
That's one of the funniest segments they've ever done. He grabbed the crutch and just like he hit him over the head with it, like just whacked him with it.
He tried
God,
to buy
they made
10.
They was, like, look, I actually like the Dark Order. I know that folks like Manny hate them, but that Dark Order shit was in full effect tonight. Those two brothers, they just got the shit kicked out of them, man. It was crazy.
And
what a visual that was. Good.
What I love about that is that like Tony had to have been sitting down, right, and thinking like, how do I get Hangman into this match? And that is what he came up with. Like that specific scenario is what he came up with, and I just love the thought of that. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I actually thought we were gonna get that Evil Uno match, and I was gonna get so mad. And then as soon as I saw that crutch shot, and I said, oh, let's go. And
Did
then
you
that
guys-
taser was awesome.
Did you get the taser? I forgot the taser. Did you guys see the AEW game stream that Uno did with Colt?
Oh yeah.
I saw some of it.
Oh my fucking god! That's one of the most insane things. Like, they asked that dude like 30 questions, and he legitimately had answers for like 2 of them. And they would ask him shit that was clear. He had no idea what they were talking about. At one point, they asked, "Are the entrances like short, or are they?" And either Uno was like, "No, that's exactly how they are. They're short promos, straight to the matches, right?" And the guy from THQ is like, "Yeah, you can mess around with the entrances. You get the full entrances, the short entrances." They just moved on, man. I'm telling you, if Uno got off that plane, I was fucking his booker. I said, "Brother, I'm paying you to run a fucking Twitch channel. You need to ask better questions on those things."
See, I'm not paying you to wrestle. You're paying over here to,
You're a full-time streamer, brother.
See, just
I text you that. I was like, "Come on, man. That's the gig, That's the gig for Uno now. Come on, we've got to level up a little bit." But if anyone didn't see it, it's worth watching just for how like awkward it is when like Colt makes like wrestling references and the guy just sits there has no clue what he's talking about. Amazing stuff. Tremendous deal. That's about everything, right? Have we missed anything? I feel like there was a lot on tonight's show, but I think that's about everything. I'm not sure. Chat, tell us in this. We'll hang around for a couple more minutes, and we'll see if we missed anything. Very eventful show.
I have a crazy story.
Very
that
different show.
today.
You did? What happened?
So I was in the drive-thru at a pharmacy, and
Yeah.
and the line was huge. So I started watching random clips of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I've never seen a show that just popped up. So I was just playing the clips, and I was talking to the pharmacist, and then one of the clips was Danny DeVito yelling out, "You whore, you whore," and I thought she turned off the intercom, and then like I was just playing it in my car, and then she just says, "What are you calling me, sir?" And I looked, and I'm just like, I paused the video, and I said, and I just kept showing her my phone, like, "Look, it's the clip. My bad. I wasn't calling you that."
Honestly, that's kind of sicko behavior. You were just watching clips of a show you've never seen. That makes me uncomfortable to begin with. Like, it feels like you're missing like all the I don't know, but that's probably not the main problem there. Man, that's like an actual towel. Did you tweet about this, or did you avoid doing that? Because
No, I thought it was. I feel like you're being lost in context if I just tweeted something out like that.
Oh yeah. Luckily, there's only about 60 people watching this. It'll go under the radar. This is true. I didn't feel the need to talk about this because my stance is clear on Jake Hager. I think he's one of the top 150 wrestlers in the world. I'm going to say 100, and I got a little bit hesitant. He is bringing back King's Road. I've often been heard saying this. I would like to see him get a run in any Japanese promotion, ideally all Japan, just for the memes. I would like him and Eddie Kingston to do a World Tag League together. I understand it doesn't make much sense, but I think it could be a good bit. And Bryan Danielson was there, and he's pretty good, I guess. But Hager stole the show, if you ask me. Chris, what do you think of another Jake Hager masterclass, brother?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say all that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Danielson. This proves. Read into this what you want, but this just again proves that Bryan's the greatest of all time. That's all I'll say about this match.
Yeah, he can pull off some pretty amazing things with these guys, man. He can have. You have to be like. I don't know if there's a wrestler on TV that he can't have like a good match with, genuinely, because he just has the people. It's so easy for him. A tremendous pro wrestler. Dukes, what do you think of Hager and Danielson?
Oh no, Manny, that worries me. Brucey's comment might be right.
New Johnny H.
He should grow out his hair.
Somebody just like tweeted me a picture of the Elite and Dark Order, and they put the Elite as the Spurs, like winning the championships, then they put for the Dark Order LeBron James on the Cavs, and he's just with like bums.
Oh,
so
that's pretty good, actually.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Dukes, anything else on Hager and Danielson?
Bryan Danielson's good at wrestling.
Yeah, I agree. Manny, do you want to put over Jake Hager?
Man, Hager, he got that 5-star from Dave and just been on a roll. Yeah. He's never gonna see a 3 3/4 match again. just 4s now.
There's news. I think there's news out. Have you seen the news?
No.
Oh God. Oh my God.
It appears that a real hooper has just left the territory.
Tony Khan.
Sue's-
Never mind. I won't say
Su-
it. But
Unfortunately, folks, it appears
the educated
according-
few are heading back to the Fed.
According to Sean Ross Sapp, it appears that Roderick Strong has got a new tag team partner on Friday Night SmackDown because it appears the man of 1,000 kicks has left All Elite Wrestling. Bobby Fish is no longer All Elite. Not doing a bit when I tell you this has actively upset me because he fucking rules and him trash talking at every turn is funny. If you are part of the Discord, this will be especially unsurprising to you. Not that anyone on this particular screen has been talking about that. It's not the kind of thing we do around here. Shout out to him. What a run he had. He kicked out Punk's GTS at 3.1. A good call. A salute to you, Bobby Fish. It was a hell of a time. We loved having you. You're welcome back. Well, I don't know if you're welcome back anytime.
Was
but I
that the
would like
breaking news
Probably
on this podcast?
Yeah, we should actually do that. Hang on. Let me do the graphic thing. Because people like the bits, it's important. We forget the bits sometimes.
Play the hits.
It is with great sadness and regret that I am here to break some news that isn't our news at all and may actually be completely false. According to our live chat here, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com has announced that Bob Fish is no longer All Elite. The days of legitimate head kicks have gone. The World Wrestling Federation has a new Intercontinental Champion on the way. I will not confirm Bobby Fish Grin Grappler yet, but wait for it and let it play out. Bobby Fish, we salute you.
It's been a very sad day here, but you just like other fish, you just flush them down the toilet, and then you just never think about them again.
No, it had to be. There's more fish in the. You had to do. There's many more fish in the sea, man. You can't talk about flushing Bobby Fish down the toilet. Come on.
He's a hooper.
He is. He's a shooter too. He's a fucking shooter.
Well, you can have, great battles.
He's JJ Redick.
In the. Oh, come on. That's disrespectful to JJ Redick, all right?
Bro, JJ put up like 18 one year, man. He was bad.
He put up 12 off the bench.
Yeah, bro, he was a bad man. I mean, he's more like Cole Corver.
Shane Battier.
Shane Battier was too
Mario
late.
Chalmers. He's Mario Chalmers. All
right. This is quickly getting worse for Alfred and Bobby. Bobby,
Wait,
welcome on the late night Grin.
What do we do now? There you go. We're gonna change Bobby Fish for Roderick Strong, and then that's how we get our Grand Slam match.
What's more likely though? Like Bobby's just gonna team with Roddy on WWE TV, right?
Oh my! I just look. Matt Jackson selling his back against Roderick Strong's backbreakers.
Don't do this to me right now, bro. I can't do this. You don't know how long I've waited. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be on SmackDown again. Let's just accept that and leave it there. We don't have to worry about it. That's fine. I hope Bobby gets a gig over there. It seems like he is expecting one based on what he's been talking as of late. I don't know.
It would be so fun if he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, Impact's hiring. They pay well from what I'm told. So
I wonder if he's going to break more news on his podcast.
Maybe that is the news.
Maybe he broke his own news. Dude,
he did say there was news, and it's not renewed, so it kind of feels like he would know, right?
Yeah.
Imagine, what a way to kick off a podcast. Yep, not re-signed. I'm leaving.
Wait, so he only signed a 1-year deal or less?
That's what I was.
Yeah,
I was trying to do the math there.
You got to remember when he signed, he was like a weird signing because none of the other guys were free at that point. Remember, he came in, or Cole had just got there. Yeah, Cole, you're right. Cole got there. Actually, Cole had got there. No, Cole had got because his debut was he challenged Sammy, and Sammy won the belt in September. You're right. Cole was there. But I remember vividly us on the Grin being like, why the fuck are they bringing in Bobby Fish? He actually popped us huge. So,
You know what? This is a smart move on Tony's part. He tricked Kyle into signing because he thought Bobby Fish was going to be around. He didn't tell Kyle, hey, Bobby Fish has 5 years too, like you. And then he signs him to a 5-year deal, and then after that, he just Bobby Fish was on a 1-year deal, baby.
Manny, you got to realize we're in different perspectives here because you're popping at this, and I've now lost the one member of that group that I like, and I'm not, I'm not here to celebrate, brother. I'm sad about it. I'm gonna miss the kicks, bro. The kicks, the
Darby match?
Don't worry, we can get Bobby to throw
The
some
Darby
kicks.
match was so good.
That was his swan song, wasn't it? Is he ever wrestling again after that?
I'm going to cage match. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, man,
I've actually
Bobby Fish
Yeah.
wrestled a lot of guys. Wrestled CM Punk, Bryan Danielson.
I was at the Bryan match.
Lee Moriarty.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that match.
That's on a legendary show, though. That's on a legendary show.
Oh, I was there too. That was good.
Oh yeah, that was the buy-in with Suzuki, right?
That was the Suzuki one.
Mhm.
Don.
Don't have an at.
Yeah, don't have an at.
That's actually a very fair way to read it, but yeah, don't have an at is what he's going for.
Don't be spreading out these rumors. I love Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah,
I think he should be pushed as a world heavyweight champ, and I get killed for that take all the time.
Yeah.
So
I like Kyle a lot. He's a lovely guy, but I'm not like a fan. Bobby Fish pops me because he does this gimmick a lot and kicks people. It's fun, I want to give a shout out to Bud Ryan, great pal of the show, who says, love the drama of wrestling. Punk and Mox were on fire on the mic tonight. Thanks for all the content. Needed the grins this week. Love you all. Thanks, pal. Wish there was more content this week. We'll be ramping up soon. I appreciate you resubscribing. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Dukes, where did we conclude what his last match was?
It was Darby, yeah.
What a way to go out. Like a king. Went out like a king, brother.
3.5 from Dave.
Piece of shit. 3.5. Doesn't appreciate real wrestling. All right, let's take it home here. Chris, I'll start with you. Plugs, promotions, so on and so forth. Any final words?
Yeah, just I guess the usual. Check out the articles at Wrestle Purists. Follow me on Twitter, my Wrestling Burner. Yeah, man, it's exciting. Excited for the weekend. A lot of good wrestling. So, guess tune into the shows. Sunday, doing a watch along on. Right, we're doing a watch along of Nitro.
Yes, we're going to do that around. We're only going to hit play at 6 Eastern because I think it's like 45 on the network. So then we'll be done in time for the the zero.
Yeah.
Is it hour 0 or 0 hour?
0 hour.
0
hour.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you answered that very quickly. That was impressive. All right. Yeah, we're going to do that on Sunday. I think there's going to be a few of us there, and we're going to just kind of. If you don't watch Nitro, folks, I think you're aware of how we do things. Right? We're not going to be like doing play-by-play. It's the anniversary, so we're just going to kind of have it on and be just talking about wrestling, and it's going to be kind of a loose pre-show for the pay-per-view. So there you go, Dukes. I believe you've been booked for that. I don't know if you're actually going to show. I know you're very very busy guy, but
I'll be for the Nitro show.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
You got another booking this week, I'm told. Promote all these things, Duke.
I'm going to be on a late night Grin tomorrow for some reason to discuss that. I don't know. I just got a DM from some random guy. Anyway, to discuss the House of Glory show I was at. Very strange show, but I guess we're talking about that. And I'm back on Twitter, Duke's Grin.
Oh, so I got to watch that show?
No, I think you should.
Just watch the Battle Royal. That's the only good match.
I saw that. I don't want to watch that again.
I said to shoot that that would be because you actually were there. It was such a weird show. People got really mad about it and demanded refunds and stuff. It was quite the deal.
Got some good photo ops though.
Yeah. Great photo. Three good wrestlers in one photo. Incredible.
Rare.
It's very rare. Special feat these days. Manny, plugs, promotions, so on and so forth.
If you're on Discord, you can go with us in Discord in a bit, in 5 minutes. I don't know how long we're going to be in there for. Just, I don't know. Sometimes they say an hour.
Right
What?
They're in there right now. They're watching this stream on the Discord. They're streaming.
Well, last time I said we're going to go for an hour, we ended up being for 6 hours. So
I'm going to be in there for 5 minutes. I'm going to say, Manny, tell me everything you know and have learned during that show. And then I'm going to just swiftly, I'll be like, okay, guys, have a good night.
And then if you guys watch Puro, Noah, let me know what was good because Monty slapped me on the wrist and said that I have to watch more modern stuff and I just can't be watching classic ROH. So
who is he to say that? What does he have? You have a contract with him now? Piece of shit. Fucking demanding you watch bad wrestling. What you should just say? What star ratings is when you should just say, "Well, I've got Nigel and fucking Joe at 4.5." Then what's he going to do about it? You know what I mean? He don't know what fucking Monty. He hasn't got a clue. Anyway, all right, there you go. Wrestle Purist, good idea. All right, there you can support those. We have 2 Wrestle Purist fellas on the screen. I'm an alumnus, and Dukes is here. I don't think Dukes, you've not interacted with Montgomery, right?
No, I think he dunked on me on the show last night on Fed Dead, which is whatever. But he called me. I think he called me a good. He called me a good.
Don't
hand.
spoil it for me.
Yeah.
He called me a good.
I'm gonna listen to it on Saturday.
Okay.
Wow, banking Bobby shows to get you through the weekend. All right, bro, that works.
Hey man, I work 16-hour shifts. I need something to listen to.
Fucking veteran, what a worker. All right, folks, we hope you enjoyed this. Did you have anyone put in the chat if there's someone we can raid? I always do this too. Like, is there anyone to raid? Is there anyone on Twitch? We have like 60 people here. We might as well do that. Apparently, it's good for the channel. Is there anyone on the Twitch? Any good wrestlers specifically? Because I'm not going to raid certain people. If you're aware of these people in the chat, say them now. Otherwise, we will simply just waste our viewership, which would be unfortunate. It does not look like there are a plethora of suggestions as of right now. Stephen Lawson, Breeze and Spears. My God.
The chairman.
Yeah, the chairman's a good one.
That's
The
it.
Sweets.
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
The Sweets. The Sweets Live. 120 folks in there. Okay. I may have buried one of these. No, I don't think I've said anything bad about any of them. Enjoy it. Enjoy that over there. We will be back tomorrow night for the Grin. You'll see a couple of these faces on that show, and then Sunday on Twitch for the Nitro show. All right, folks, enjoy Breeze and Spears over there. All right, if you're watching on YouTube, you can be a patron and watch that very late night Grin show that a few of us will be on. LateNightGrin.com. Just $1 gets you in the house. That's all that's happening over there, but it's a flagship show every week, 3 hours. LateNightGrin.com. In the meantime, enjoy this outro. All hell.